All right, Shalom. Call out Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will well tell me this truth. And peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yashar, the bar, back to you again with another lesson. All right, Lord, when this lesson be edifying. All right, to the hopeful elect. We're going to jump straight into it, man. All right, just speaking on what, staying in the spirit pretty much. All right, and not being distracted, all right, by the ways of this world. All right, because the ways of this world is to keep you distracted, keep you blinded, from who you are, from teaching this truth, and following out the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, All right, the world wants you, to be as like them, man. All right, blinded, and just caught up into the world, you know. But, you have to go all the way in, and you can't mix and match, all right? You can't 1 foot in, 1 foot out, all right? So let's bring out the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. And it reads, and matter of fact, it's in the NLT. So it says, no one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and be enslaved to money. All right. So man. So you can't mix and match. All right. You can't serve the Lord and still want to be part of this world. All right. Good example. All right. Look at these niggas that claim to be a Muslim. All right. They worship who they worship. All right, but then again, they still want to be part of the world. All right, they still want to gang bang. They still want to tote guns. All right, they still want to be just all out nigga. All right, hey, there's no morals to that shit, man. All right, they ain't standing on nothing. All right, so it says what? You will be devoted to one and despise the other. Yeah, and that's what's gonna happen. All right, because you can't serve both. Either you're gonna put one off to the side and serve this, or you're gonna despise the other, man. You know. All right, you can't be loyal to one thing and try to be loyal to another. All right, try to be and still serve the Lord. All right, you have brothers in this truth. All right, that sacrificed. All right, and gave up. All right, certain things they wanted to do. All right, that was of the world. All right, what careers, jobs, whatever. Just to serve the Lord. And there's nothing wrong. All right, with what being in tune with, all right, whatever you're in tune with, working out, a sport, playing basketball, whatever it is, man. All right, but you want to be more in tune in the spirit, all right, than that. All right, you don't let that overpass, all right, what it's all about. All right, which is what? Worshiping Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, teaching, doing your lessons, all right, studying, reading, whatever it is, man. All right, that keeps you in tune in the spirit. All right. So let me see what else it says. It says you cannot serve Yahweh and be enslaved to money. Because hey, that's another thing. All right, Jake be so in tune and trying to chase out the money. All right, chase out the careers. Want the big house and all that type of shit, man. All right, when all these things that's in the world, all right, is going to be destroyed. All right, you know. So yeah, you can't serve the Lord, all right, and then try to be what it says, be enslaved into money. You know. Because hey, this money, hey, this shit is about to crash, man. You know, yeah, hey, all this shit is gonna crash, man. All right, and be destroyed. So moving on, and another thing, hey, this devil is set up, to have you, distracted. Because hey, that's what Esau Edom's like. And he likes that, man. He don't care about you niggas throwing on dashikis and claiming to be a Muslim. All right, he doesn't care. He likes that, man. He likes to see Jake bugged out on drugs. He likes to see Jake hanging on the block, toting guns, selling drugs, and all that shit, man. All right, he doesn't have no problem with that, because that's what he's set up to do. All right, so let's get this. Psalms chapter 83, verse 4. It said, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And that's Esau Edom for you, man. All right, that's this devil for you. All right, let's cut them off from being a nation. And how does he do that? All right, keeping you blind, trying to keep you blinded, trying to keep you distracted. Want you of the world. Want you celebrating pagan holidays and shit, be in tune with Christmas, all right, Halloween. All right, once he see you doing that, hey, he got you. He like, okay, yup, we got them right where we want them. All right. It says what that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. I don't want you speaking on Israel. He don't want you being in tune with who you are and things like that. All right, so how do you do that? Do it what? Social media. All right, it's television, network. You know, his spells. you know, all right, to keep Jake in the docile state of mind. You know, so and that's the spirit of this devil, man. He'll spend billions of dollars, all right, to keep the word from coming out. You know, to keep the word of the Lord from coming out, man. All right, to keep the prophets off the streets. All right, same way with what how he does brothers channels. All right, taking down brothers channels. All right, striking the pages. You know, taking the views, all that type of shit, man. All right, which is what he can't do nothing against the truth before it. All right, so yeah, man. Let's bring it back. Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." All right, and that's what learning who you are. All right, taking away the name of the only power. Got you calling on JC. You know, all that type of shit, man. All right. And this devil here, he'll do whatever, all right, to keep Jake blinded, all right, to keep Jake of the world, you know. Now let's get this. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier." All right, so yeah, you can't entangle yourself, all right, with the affairs of this life, man. All right, let's go into that word affair. All right, look up. Let's see. The affairs, man. Transactions, business, the matters, all right, the problems. So, yeah, man. So it says what? Verse 4, "No man that warreth," all right, because we at war, you know. When you come into this truth, all right, you learn who you are and everything, all right, and you in tune in the spirit. All right, we at war, man. All right, this is a spiritual war, all right, not a carnal. All right, I ain't speaking on marching up the street with boots and guns, man. All right, spiritual. All right, because the world is against you. Everything is set up for to keep you, distracted or blinded. All right, everything is set up to have you going off, man. All right, and that's the battle right there itself. So it says, "No man warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life." All right, yeah, you don't want to entangle yourself, all right, with the affairs of this life, man. All right, hey, when you at war, all right, we always give an example. All right, the movie Dead Presidents. All right, he said something to the effect of, he was going to war, he was in the army, and he said, "Once I look back, start thinking about the shit back at home, all right, in the world, I'm a dead man, all right." And the same thing with this truth, all right. Once you step across that line, all right, and you're doing what's required of you to do, all right, that's the war, all right, and you can't look back, all right, into the world. All right, you can't be caught up and entangling yourself, all right, with the affairs of this life, man. All right, and once you do that, all right, you could, hey man, hey, you dead, you know, hey, you gone. All right, and we see a lot of guys, fall out, go back into the world, all right, for things like that. All right, because he entangling himself with the affairs of this life. All right, the shit he wanted to do. All right, what he wanted to be. All right. Oh, I'm making some money now. All right, I got the job I want, or I'm lining up the things I wanted to do when I was in the world. So maybe I'm just gonna go back into the world. All right, that's the mind frame of wicked ass niggas at that. All right, that's just a wicked ass Jake, and that was never in this truth. All right, but hey, you can't entangle yourself, all right, with the affairs of this life, man. All right, it says that he may be pleased him who have chosen him to be a good soldier. All right, because hey, you chosen to be a good soldier, man. All right, you got to be a good soldier. All right, all right, a soldier is somebody that's going to war. All right, you have to endure unto the end. All right, stay in the spirit. All right, not to be distracted with the shit that's going on in the world. All right, family and all that type of shit. Your job, your career, and all that, man. Because if anything that's in the way of this truth, right, you're supposed to cut it out. You're supposed to get rid of it. Put it out. You know, Scripture says, "Know you not your own selves." All right, you're supposed to know yourself. You know, if it's something, all right, that's in the way of of you doing the work or worshiping the Lord, you're supposed to cut it out. All right, and know yourself to be, you know, stand up enough, all right, to do that. You know, and what I mean by that, all right, you knowing yourself, you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go around, all right, this certain group of people, or maybe I should make this type of move because I know, I'm not built up enough to make this type of move. All right, I'm not built up enough to be around these type of people. All right, and that's what I mean by knowing yourself. Well, that's what the scripture means. All right, so is that it? Okay, verse 5, it says, and if a man also strive for the masteries, yet he's not crowned, except he strive lawfully. All right, so you supposed to be striving for the truth. All right, striving for Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, striving for the kingdom. All right, to be crowned. And you supposed to strive for it, man. You know. So let me see. I had something else too. End it off with this. All right, let me see. The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 29. It says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses and brethren, or sisters, or father and mother, or wife or children, or land, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. You know? Man, that's beautiful. All right, knowing that. All right, hearing these scriptures comfort, man. You know? So you have to be willing, to forsake, all right, the houses, your people that serve the world, your family, mama, sister, father, whatever, who's not in tune in the spirit, you know, you have to forsake him. All right. And then it says what? Shall receive 100-fold. You're going to receive all these things back, man. All right. Certain brothers have talents. All right. Could have been this and that, you know, or could have did this or whatever it is, man. Are you going to be received all this back 100-fold? You know, but you have to forsaken, all right, family, all right, land, careers, all that, man. You know, you have to forsaken it, man. And a lot of guys don't want to forsake it, all right, and that's what have the niggas back in the world. You know, trying to serve the Lord, but still trying to do this and that's in the world. All right, still want to be in the world. You know, don't want to forsaken this shit, man. All right, but hey, knowing that you're going to receive all these things 100-fold, all right, family, kids, and that's another thing, kids, man. All right, yeah, you have to be ready to forsaken that too. All right, your woman want to run off with the kids. All right, she want to keep you from seeing the kids. Hey, so be it. All right, because we got the main goal we focusing on, man. All right, and that's getting the hell out of here. All right, but you have to endure until the end. Keep doing the work, stay in the spirit. All right, not get sidetracked by the shit that's going on, all right, in the world. All right, let me see. And that was pretty much it, man. So, Lord willing, all right, this video was edifying. With that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, and Kakodash, and give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who will well tell me this truth. Till next time, Shalom.